But if everybody runs to your aid and says, no, 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 keep spending, you keep spending. If everybody came to you and said, no, 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 don't worry about that, you just keep spending, because they were all reliant on you spending, you would. But at some point, those same people, because they wouldn't have anything real, they would only be really living on your debt. At some time, at some point, those people that were giving you the credit cards, that were encouraging you to do this, that were showing you and making it easier to get that money, would eventually have no money left, because all the money they have is your debt. And at some point they'd say, okay, wait a minute, he's not good for that. And at the same time, you would realize, honey, you'd have this conversation, and I guarantee you would have this conversation, and I've had conversations, not this bad, but I've had conversations where you realize, oh my gosh, we're in trouble. And they usually happen, with me at least, they usually happen about 11 o'clock at night in bed, and you and your wife are talking, and you break out into a cold sweat. Now, you've had that conversation, I'm sure. Now, think of this conversation. You're laying in bed with your wife, and you say to yourself, honey, I've done the bills today, and I've looked at our debt. If we take everything that we have, and we sold everything that we have, and I took my entire salary and your salary, we didn't have money for food or clothing or a house or anything, we take it all, we still can't pay off this debt. That's where we are, gang. That's where we are. They have just guaranteed half of everything that we produced last year. And that's the number they gave us today. Remember, 90 days ago, they gave us a crazy number of $700 billion. 90 days ago. Today, oh, Glenn, that's crazy. When I said it's $3 trillion, I got the mail. That's crazy. You're right. It is crazy. It's $7.8 trillion. It's twice as crazy as I said. From 1791 to up until 90 days ago, it took us that long to come up with $10 trillion in debt that's on the books. We've got another $54 trillion off the books. But what's on the books is $10 trillion. Now they've just done in 90 days $7.5 trillion. So now our debt that's on the books will be, because they'll say right now, oh, well, don't worry. It's just guaranteed to take the relief off the system. It's just it's a safety valve. You're on the hook, gang. And do you want to be on the hook for that? I don't want to be on the hook for that. If these things start to fail, I know this is crazy, if this system doesn't work, you've killed the patient. If this system doesn't work, if that $7.5 trillion just ain't enough, and we're looking in 90 days from now, banks start to fail, these things start to go, you're on the hook. So now our debt on the books is $17.5 trillion. Is anyone in a cold sweat yet? When I said read about the Weimar Republic, this is what I meant. I'm telling you, this is why 2 weeks ago I had an increased sense of urgency on this. You're running out of time to prepare. And what you need to do is just have food. Just know who you are. Know what you believe in. You're going to be asked. You're going this way or this way. And we are headed towards a nation that looks an awful lot like China. In a year from now, there's not going to be a financial institution that's not owned by the government. Barack Obama said on Saturday, there are millions of jobs that are going to be lost in the next 12 months. Think of that, millions of jobs. Well, what is left? Hope that the individual gets it. See, the arrogance comes in the financial market and in government that they believe, the people at the top, and let's just throw out a crazy number. Let's just say that the people who are really in charge of the economy, let's just say that there's 100,000 people worldwide that really are the power players. That number is way out of whack. That's way too many. But let's say the real power players, there's 100,000 of them in the world today. They believe they can control the economy. Well, what is the economy? The economy is 6 billion people making a choice. Spend, don't spend. Spend too much, spend too little. Save, don't save. 6 billion people. And 100,000 out-of-control egomaniacs think they can stop the force of what the economy really is because they think they've designed the economy. They haven't. It is a natural force of the individual and the choices that the individual makes, all put together collectively. You can't stop a hurricane. You can't stop this. It's only when the individuals make the choice and say, wait a minute, I got to pull things together. That's when things change.